So you want to talk about Drake's lawsuit and all the headlines you've been seeing about the appeal. If you want to talk about it, then I will discuss it. Although I am exhausted, I'm tired of talking about it, and I'm tired of the same regurgitated opinions, talking points, and headlines from legacy media and from content creators who are searching for something to talk about for clicks and views and presenting information as if it's new. If you've been here before, thank you for supporting me. I go by the name Jay Roebuck, and here I give you hip hop content and pop culture where I not only analyze music, but the business of music. If it's your first time here, welcome to the family, welcome to the community. Go into the comment section. Let me know what you think about the content. Whether you agree or disagree, it's all good. Let's just have some respectful discourse. Now, what I will say is I'm going to ask you to like this video, hype this video, share this video, because that is how we get into the algorithm. That is how we continue to grow this channel. And listen, we've made great progress thus far. I'm on the road to 100K subscribers. I'm not going to say 10K, 20K, 30K. I want 100K plus, and I can only do that with your support, and I'm grateful for it. But I won't hold you any longer. You want to know about Drake's lawsuit, the appeal process, and what you need to know? I'll break it down for you. Here we go. So on January 22nd, it was announced that Drake's legal team filed their official appeal in their lawsuit against UMG for defamation of character. Now, there were also a number of other allegations that had to do with botting, the promotion of the song, some things that had to do with Spotify in there. But the whole crux of the argument was contingent upon this defamation piece. Now, what's important to note is this is not new news or a surprise. The day after this case was dismissed, Drake's legal team put out a statement where they said that they would be appealing. So again, no one should be surprised, okay? Now, let me make this clarification for you. I am not a lawyer. This is not legal advice. I've only read the documents that were presented, and I've formulated an opinion, and I'm delivering it to you here. But what I can tell you for certain is in this appeal that they submitted, there is no new evidence. There are no new witnesses. There are no new documents. There are no new recordings. What they are asking for in the appeals court is that they are saying that they are reviewing if the judge applied the law correctly. And what they feel here is that the judge dismissed the case a bit too early, the legal standards were misapplied, and that the judge did not view this case in its entirety, and that Judge Vargas brought in some outside information that wasn't in the complaint that had to do with some of Drake's lyrics during the battle. So what Drake's team wants from this appeal is to reverse the dismissal, let the case move forward, and have a jury decide the interpretation and decide, is this defamation or is it not? That is it. That is all these documents present to you. The argument that Drake's team is presenting is the same. There's no new bombshell evidence that they have here. They just want this to go into the appeals process. They want all the discovery granted. They want that discovery to be taken into account before we say that this case can be dismissed. Now, if you think that I didn't break that down well, I want you to go into the comments and tell me, is there anything I missed? Again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just using what is readily available to the public to formulate my opinion. But now I have to give you my thoughts here. For the people that feel that Drake should have just dropped this once it was dismissed the first time, I understand why you feel that way, but we're not talking about feelings here. We are talking about business. This is strictly business. Are there Drake's personal emotions tied up in this? I'm sure they are, because his emotions are tied to the business. He feels that his label conspired against him to make him lose leverage in contract negotiations. And one of the ways that they did this was by popularizing or helping push Kendrick Lamar's song, Not Like Us, which he says defamed him. That, in his mind, cost him contracts upwards of $600 million. That's in negotiations. That's not talking about what it may have done if he decided to leave UMG, or what it could have done to hurt his future earnings outside of that contract. So it's business. When you have hundreds of millions of dollars or even $1 billion at stake, you don't say, oh, I want to go fight a CEO. You know how billion-dollar corporations fight? They do it through the legal system. So again, if he spent upwards of $1 million so far getting this lawsuit filed, getting witnesses, receiving evidence, seeking down people who he wanted to depose, why would you just give up after you spent $1 million? You continue to push forward because at the end of the day, you have nothing to lose but everything to gain. His public perception has already been damaged. If you didn't like Drake before, you're not going to like him because he filed a lawsuit. There's nothing that he's going to do to change your mind. So why would he take a stance to try to sway you onto his side? Do you think he cares? He doesn't. He filed the lawsuit and had his best performing streaming year ever. So clearly, no matter how much you choose to hate it, it's not affecting the bottom line, okay? We have to just get that under control. We have to understand that. It's business. It's not all personal. I know we all have our thoughts about it, but it is what it is. The next thing we have to come to terms with is just the media coverage of Drake is never going to change. When Drake was sued over What Did I Miss by an Italian artist, it was front page, it was headlines, it was all over social media. Do you notice that all the content being made in the past week is about Drake filing for an appeal in this case that was dismissed, but no one is talking about how that lawsuit was thrown out that had to do with the copyright thing? No one's talking about it. Every media outlet covered it when it happened, but once it was dismissed because it was baseless, no one has anything to say. No one wants to talk about why. No one wants to talk about how this is a victory for Drake. It's radio silence. And that is because obviously the media is trained to be one way because the negative coverage of him drives more clicks. You go on social media, it's the same thing. Everyone will cover when something bad happens or when someone sues Drake, but when those lawsuits get dismissed, people have nothing to say. Like, this is one of the reasons why I didn't even want to make this video because it's exhausting. I don't want to keep talking about things when I'm already content and I already know how this thing goes. But there are not a lot of voices on YouTube who will talk about it, so I will cover it because I have to bring you guys my opinion and try to give you non-biased content that covers both sides, whether it's positive or negative about the artist. And the third thing, what has happened since Drake has filed this lawsuit that has negatively impacted hip hop? I mean, I can name some things that consumers might be happy about. There have been a number of cleanups that had to do with botting on Spotify and other DSPs. I mean, even this week, there was an artist who was faking stream who has now been sued and could be held liable criminally for faking streams and receiving millions of dollars. And for every fake stream that is out there, it affects every artist on these platforms because it takes away one real listener. It takes away from the whole pie that the DSPs pay out to labels and independent artists every quarter or every month. So botting doesn't help you. Why would you be on the side of botting as a consumer? Why would I want someone to dictate what songs I'm going to listen to or what songs get playlisted? Why would I want a bot that helps determine where a song charts, which means radio would play it? Then I have to hear something that people genuinely don't like. So Drake's lawsuit has not done any negative damage. Now I'm going to react to a video here. This is from Justin Hunt. I think he goes by the Company Man. And I responded to this video, but I'm going to play it here and let's react to it.
The extra record materials furnish the only evidence supporting the court's articulation of an unduly broad context, the entire rap battle, which caused the court to replace the reasonable listener standard with one focus on a rap superfan. So that's where they're trying to position. They're trying to say, hey, this song is way bigger than the battle was. It's essentially what they're trying to say. The song is so big and it reached so wide in so many different corners of earth that people who may have never even heard of rap know what a rap battle is.
Okay, so that's just what happened. There's no way around that. Not Like Us was bigger than the battle by numbers, by viewership, by listenership, and by any other metric, by cultural impact. Not Like Us stands alone in that battle. Can you compare Not Like Us to Tailor Made Freestyle? You can't because they didn't have the same impact. So by you trying to minimize it and say, oh, it wasn't bigger than the battle, that just does not make sense. And it's literally just not true.
Would come away with the impression that Drake is a PDF, right? And so they're minimizing.
So that is just what happened. There are people who are so impressionable that they believed what Kendrick Lamar said and they took it as fact. Number one, children are impressionable. There are videos floating around from children's parties where they are screaming this at the top of their lungs and they heard it in this song and they run with it. That is what happened. Not only are children impressionable, adults are impressionable. Again, go on any social media and you can go to a comment section and see a bunch of sick and heinous allegations and comments because people actually believe it because of what happened in the song. For better or for worse, that is just the reality.
And marginalizing the impact that rap has had globally over the past 50 years and what a rap battle is. And they're saying that this went so wide that, you know what, only rap superfans.
And they're not minimizing it at all. I don't think that that's what's happening. I think it's just a reality. There are certain artists who are bigger than the genre. Snoop Dogg is bigger than the genre. 50 is bigger than the genre. Those are recognizable characters outside of just the hip hop and pop culture world. Just like this song has permeated itself through all different facets of people who don't even know what rap and hip hop is. Like, they're not fans of it. They might not even be passive listeners of it. So this has definitely gone beyond just hip hop and pop culture. I don't know how anyone could deny that.
Only rap super fans really know what it is. And I think conveniently they leave out the fact that this was a pretty widely covered thing in the mainstream media. And they're trying to take this song out of the culture of this and saying, matter of fact, even things within the culture of this are still open for defamation claims. And that is damaging to hip hop. That is right here a prime example of what people mean when they say that Drake's trying to kill hip hop. Language like that.
And language like that would not kill hip hop. Again, a month after this lawsuit was filed, Cardi B and Nicki Minaj said the most heinous things to each other online. Cardi B and JT went into a rap battle where they both said insane things about each other. Joey Badass against the West Coast said insane things about each other. Nothing changed. There was no language that changed. There were no allegations that didn't fly. People said what they wanted to say because at the end of the day, this is hip hop, like you said. So if Drake wins or loses this lawsuit, hip hop doesn't live or die with it. Hip hop will go on to exist long after Drake's lawsuit and long after Drake is no longer active in the game. People who try to act like this is the downfall of the entire genre, it's ridiculous and I can't buy into it one bit. It is what it is and it is business. It does not change Kendrick Lamar's life. It does not change anyone else's life. People will rap about what they want to rap about. That's just what it is. Now, again, I really don't care for this lawsuit or even like discussing it that much, but it's a headline and I have to just present my opinion because I feel like there's no balance in the reporting on this. If you stuck around to the end of the video, thank you. I go by the name J Roebuck. If you can, please go into the comments and tell me what you think. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Check out the Soundcheck series that me and my friend Zammy host, where we discuss a number of other topics that we cover to catch you up on all the news in hip hop and pop culture. And hype the video if you're watching on mobile. All those things help get this video into the algorithm. I appreciate you and I want to say thank you for supporting me thus far. I want to get to 100K subs, but I can't make it happen if I don't have your support. I value each and every one of your opinions. Whether you agree with me or disagree, it doesn't matter. As long as we can engage in respectful dialogue, I'm all for it. Salute, and I'm out. And make sure you stick around and make sure you continue to check out the channel for all the new updates and all the new videos. Thank you.